Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whenever and wherever you may be. Welcome to Benney Babbles podcast. I'm getting Benny, and this is my podcast where I babble. And today, ladies and gentlemen, we got a special guest, Julie Williams from the Sporting Memories Foundation. Give a big round of applause to Julie. Hello. Welcome to the show, Julie. How are you?
Hiya, Geraint. Thank you very much. Yes, I'm okay, thanks. Yourself?
Yes. You know, as we said earlier on, it is morning. Whether it's a good morning is another thing. So, tell us a little bit about yourself, Julie.
Well, I live in Carmarthen, one of the most famous villages in the valleys. Beautiful area to live because we're surrounded by mountains on all sides. At the moment, I'm working as a coordinator for a charity called the Sporting Memories Foundation.
Right.
Now, it's the only sports reminiscence charity which concentrates on reminiscence and physical activity to help people tackle isolation and loneliness and things like the issues around dementia for families.
Yes.
It was formed in 2011 and it's run in 2011 in England, Scotland, and even in Australia. But we only came to Wales last year.
Right. So it's quite a new project in Wales then.
Yes. Yeah. Right. I was appointed in October. We've got two coordinators in Wales, myself and Nikki. Now I cover Rhondda and Taff, Swansea, Neath Port Talbot, and Conway.
Oh wow, that's quite a big that's a big catchment area to cover, isn't it? So yeah.
And my colleague covers Newport, the Vale, Cardiff, and she also does Conway as well.
Right.
It's a huge.
That is a huge catchment area to cover. Yeah, it's quite a task you got there to cover the whole area itself.
Yeah. It was quite an experience going up to Conway for the first time as well.
Yeah.
Because I got lost and I ended up on the Great Orme apparently. I got ambushed by a load of goats. Have you seen how big those goats are, Geraint?
No.
They're absolutely huge. And at that time, I had a very low car.
Yeah.
And I come to part of the road, and there's all these goats standing in the road. And I wasn't quite sure what to do because they were nearly as big as my door. And I opened the door, and they sort of looked at me. And they got funny eyes, and the goats.
They have got funny eyes.
So I had to stay there then until I was rescued by a farmer. But yeah. But anyway, we work with people over 50, predominantly in areas of deprivation. And what we do, we identify areas of deprivation in Wales. But these areas have got to have a high amount of people over 50 as well.
Yes.
And it's predominantly men we are targeting. We work with women as well. But speaking about sport and reminiscing about sport is the sort of starting point for people.
Yes.
And we've got partners like Cardiff City Football Club, Glamorgan Cricket, the Ospreys, and Viability up in North Wales. So they all play a part in delivering these programs.
Oh, that's amazing.
It's a really effective way of getting people to engage.
Yeah.
What we normally do, like I said, we target people who've got memory problems, mental health, isolation, perhaps haven't got any family, no money or anything, and it's just something for them to take part in and feel included.
Yeah, and I suppose in the current climate, it's even harder because I suppose this is making things harder for you guys as well. With your job, having the lockdown, and it's gonna. I think when it's lifted, you're gonna have a bigger job on your hands, really, because there's gonna be more people out there needing these services.
Yeah, we've had to rethink the way we work in getting the same as a lot of organisations, I think, because pre-COVID we'd started in October setting the clubs up in the communities, and they run for 2 hours normally every week. So you've got that consistency then, the same day, same time every week, so people know what to expect and
Yeah.
when it's going to happen. So what we normally do, we come in and everybody gets their cup of tea or coffee, and they all sit around the big table, and we start with a song, or we don't sing, or at least I don't. My friend says I've got a voice like a frog. So what we do, the ones I run, we do the oggy, oggy, oggy. So it gives them
Right.
that sort of, oh, this is our starting point
Yeah,
for
and
our,
it's a loosening that point as well, isn't it? It's when
yeah,
you start off with something like that, it's sort of it makes it fun straight away.
yeah, yeah. I know some of the groups who they do this song, or the two brothers, I can't remember the name. We'll walk a million miles or a
Oh,
thousand
right,
miles.
yeah, the Proclaimers. Yeah, the
Yeah, yeah.
Proclaimers.
So
Yeah,
they're
yeah, yeah.
moving their arms and everything to start, at the beginning of the session. So that works really well. So after that, then we have a subject. We normally discuss the subject beforehand, the week before. Last week, I think we were speaking about homemade sporting toys, or homemade
Right.
sporting objects. And
Yeah,
you've got things like the go-karts, the rope swings, the bows and arrows, and we just start speaking about things like that. And more often than not, it goes off on a tangent because in the discussion about tennis the other week, we started speaking about tennis, and then all of a sudden somebody said, by the way, then somehow it was always warm in Wimbledon, and then somebody said, oh yeah, we have strawberries in Wimbledon, and it just went off in a totally different direction. But
yeah.
that's okay because that's the way it's supposed to work
It
because people
is.
listen
Yeah,
to each other. But yeah, it's really good. So after that, then we have another cuppa. We have some sporting objects because we've got loads and loads of things like the sporting memories packs. We've got the legends packs, which you've got all. Well, we're in the process of doing the Welsh Legends pack as well with all Welsh sports people. And
right.
it's just looking at photos and discussing the people in the photos, or it might be an object. And it's all triggering memories with people and getting
Yeah,
them in and talking. Um, so after that, then we do a little bit of physical activity, and it depends on the group, the people you've got attending the group. It could be things like indoor bowls, it could be a boccia, it could be balloon pass, if that's what the people are
what they want
able
to
to
do?
do.
Yeah,
Yeah. And then with the more able ones, we pass them on to the things like walking football later on, and signpost them to, once we build up the confidence, we just signpost them on then, or carry on supporting them, whatever they need.
yeah,
And then finish the session, we have our song or our oggy 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 again. And that normally takes about 2 hours. We sometimes have a guest speaker, but obviously that have all changed now with the COVID situation. So everything has gone online, and we're trying to reproduce what we had in the community online. So
yes,
what we do every week, we've got a Rhondda Cynnan Taff Zoom every Friday at 12:30, and we start with our song. We have our reminiscence session again, um, and then we do a little bit of physical activities. Normally, bottles, balls, lifting the balls, and doing some form of movement. It could
yeah,
be marking, depending on the group. And then we everybody has a talk or a chat about whatever they want to chat about sports wise, and perhaps we'll have a guest speaker in as well. And before we know it, the hour for the Zoom sessions is a little bit shorter. Is gone. So it's
So, are you getting? is there a lot of engagement of people, getting involved from the sort of where you were having your face-to-face meetings? Have you managed to get them all over onto the Zoom meetings?
Not all of them, because of the type of participants we have. A lot of them are older, and
Yes.
they're not as in much into the technology as the younger people. But
Yeah.
we have got people who have joined in, but we're tapping into other organisations as well, like the carers and the Alzheimer's Society and people like that, and
Yeah.
they are signposting people in. Um, we working with the GP liaison officers and that, so and with the Zoom clubs, we're getting people who are a little bit younger than 50 as well coming in, and that's
Right.
fine. That's no problem at all.
I'm almost there myself, Julie. I'm almost there myself. I'll be tuning in, honestly.
We'd be happy to have you, Gerard. It'd be great because you could speak about what you do and everything. Anyway,
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
fantastic.
I'd be happy to come and talk with you guys at any time you want. Yeah.
We've got a number of things happening at the moment as well. We've got a couple of initiatives. One is Talk Sport, where we've worked with the radio stations and that, and people come on and they do a 15-minute talk about a sporting event or anything sport that's interesting for them
Yeah.
and they think we'd like to share. And you can see that. I've got a address here somewhere. It's hashtag talk about sport.
Talk.
About sport. And the T, A, and S are capitals.
All right. The talk and the S then for sport, the
T, A,
capitals.
and S are capitals. All the rest is lowercase. So
Cool.
that's talk.
Oh.
We've also got over 100 sporting objects. Now that's really interesting. We had Maurice Hamilton, I think he was, on the other day speaking about a bolt he had from the Grand Prix
Yeah.
when the batteries failed to hold or something. And people come on, they talk for about 15 minutes about any sporting object. It could be a program from a match, it could be a scarf they've got, it could be a medal they've won, or a badge like one of those swimming guys. And they talk about that and explain why it's important to them, and they just share their memories. And we've also, this is really exciting, Geraint, we've got our Sporting Pink newspaper. Yes, I'll have to send you a copy of that.
Yes, I'd love a copy.
Yeah, it's a Sporting Pink newspaper, and I think it's based on the Sporting Pinks that used to be around after the matches.
Right.
Because, but in these Sporting Pink newspapers, they're weekly, and you can have them digital, totally free. And it's got quizzes, it's got some trivia, there's loads of bits and pieces. Spot the Ball is in there. You wouldn't remember that, would you? Too young.
Oh, I do. Yeah, I used to play Spot the Ball with my nan. We used to do the Spot the Ball and then send it off. Yeah.
Yeah, we use Spot the Ball in our Zooms and everything as well. It's really fun. But they have, that's a fantastic newspaper. There's loads and loads of things in there, and there's all links to other activities as well. And there's a fitness section in there. The last couple of weeks we concentrated on the hands and the feet and everything, and very small movement. So it's it's a lovely little newspaper. So by being a little bit creative, we've not only duplicated what's happening on the ground before COVID, we've added a lot of other things into the online way we're working at the moment.
That's amazing. And sometimes when we backed into a corner, we got to adapt. And it's surprising sometimes what we come up with when we do adapt. And we go, it shows us different avenues of working and living. And it is a shame for a lot of the older members of the community that are not sort of tech savvy, so that they can't take part. But I'm sure I think there are organisations that are trying to help people that are at home become a little bit more tech savvy. So let's hope that becomes the norm, really, because I think it's there's so many people out there in the same boat, whether it be lonely, and things like this, or suffering with depression. But if they don't even have to leave the house to talk to people in the same boat as them. Then, if they can go to something, I think it's an amazing project that you're doing.
It's fantastic. And the partners, they're such high-profile partners, and they've all realised the same thing: how important it is to engage with people, and particularly the older men as well, because they are the ones who tend not to engage so well.
Yeah,
But,
yeah,
we're working really hard to try and upskill people. Like we doing sort of round robin group telephone calls. We piloting that. We explaining to people how to use things like WhatsApp, because even that basic, people don't, if they've never used it before, without somebody to explain to them how to do it, it's
yeah.
they're
It's
never going to be
confusing.
able to do it.
It's confusing for me.
So, yeah, I got to be honest. Since we've had to work from home, I've had to upskill myself a lot as well. It's
Same year, yeah. Like doing this, for instance, as I said earlier, it was I did something well of I need to do something, otherwise it's going to drive me crazy just sitting at home not being creative or doing what I love doing. And so and I had to learn how to do this. And it forced back me into a corner, as we were just talking about, and it made me think outside the box and learn something new.
yeah.
And I'm sure that you've got lots of gentlemen involved that got some really interesting stories as well.
Yes.
That they that you come across, and it'd be interesting. Maybe we can talk again about sort of getting some of these on to building up a sort of a catalogue of their stories, recording them, doing their story, saying their stories and putting them out there.
Yeah, that'd be really good. That'd be fantastic. What we are always looking, Geraint, for people to join in these Zoom clubs are, and people don't have to be 50. That's the ideal age, but if anyone to join in, and they don't have to live in the area either, because we've got one of our volunteers. He runs walking football in Abergavenny, Duncan, and he joins in some of the other clubs as well. We have somebody from Huddersfield Football Club joining in our Zoom on Friday. They just popped in to say hello.
Well, that's amazing.
It's linking people, not just locally. It's linking people throughout the UK.
It sounds like a proper community that you've got really, and that it's something that we've lost in the last number of years, where communities are sort of splitting up because everything seems to be about the cities and things like that. And but I think it's very important to keep that community spirit, and because of things like this, because people need somewhere that they can go to, where they can have conversations with like-minded people, and not everyone likes going to the pub.
No. That's a little bit dangerous at the moment, isn't it?
It is, yeah, it is.
Yeah. And if people are a little bit shy as well, Geraint, because not everybody likes to see themselves, if they do manage to join the Zoom, not everybody wants to see themselves on the screen, or they might not want other people to see their faces. So they don't have to contribute. They can just sit there and listen. They don't have to have the camera on, and they can just sit there and they can listen to what everybody's saying. And if later on they feel confident enough to join in, that's great. But if they just want the reassurance of knowing other people are there and just listen to what's going on, that's fine. But we are always looking for people to join in the Zooms. Excuse me, I'm choking there.
That's all right. So how do people get in touch with you, Julie? Where do they find you?
Right, we've got a Facebook page, Sporting Memories Foundation Wales. Or if they go on to the Sporting Memories Network site. And all the details of the Zooms are there. But I can also send you a poster. I don't know whether you can actually...
Yeah. If you send me a poster, I can put it on the Facebook page.
Yeah, and they just log in, and as soon as they register, as soon as they let us know they're interested, we'll send them the passcode, and they just click in. It's if I can do it again, it's seriously, it's not.
So it's Sporting Memories Foundation. Is it .com or .co.uk or
.co.uk?
.co? So Sporting Memories Foundation.co.uk. If you go to there, you'll find all the information you need. Log in and join in with one of the Zooms. They sound absolutely amazing. They really do. It's something that I think is needed in the community. Something like this, as you said, it is sort of targeted at men from 50 upwards, really, and they are a target audience that are lost, I suppose. They've been sort of lost in time, unless some have retired. I've got so many friends, may not be married, things like that. So having somewhere where they can go to and find like-minded people is an amazing thing, really.
Yeah, women tend to, they'll go, we'll go to town, we'll stop at a cafe or we'll stop and chat, but it doesn't seem to be so easy for the men. I don't know why, but we've also got the Zooms, right?
Pardon?
Yeah, we've got Zooms. We've also got other Zooms. We've got them in Swansea, in Cardiff, Newport, and there's one coming to Vale, and we've also got a Conway one. So there's loads and loads of Zooms going on at the moment.
So they can all. It doesn't matter where you're from, because people watch this from all over the place. Where you're from, go to sportingmemoriesfoundation.co.uk and join in. Yeah, your parents, your dad, your uncle, point them in this direction, because it's an amazing project that you're working on. Well, Julie, thank you very much for coming on.
Okay, thank you, Geraint.
No problem at all. I'd like to catch up in a few months' time as well, and see how the project has developed in a few months as well.
Yes, fantastic. We've got a big event coming up at the end of the beginning of December. So I'll keep up to date with that as well, okay?
Yes, fantastic. Thanks very much. Well, thanks to Julie. Thanks for you guys for watching. And, we'll be back with Benney Babbles sometime soon. See you all. Bye.